Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. We're back for another episode of live trading. Looks like we caught a little bit of the Mitch rally here. We'll see. Let me go ahead and play that intro. And let's get down to brass tacks today.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, folks. Hello and welcome and happy Friday. I am your host, Ryan Faloona, and we are back to close out the week here with another strong trading day. We did get some data here this morning. Market was lower in the pre-market. We are trying to bounce back to balance, so we will see where we finish up. For all of you that are joining us from pre-market prep, thank you. I know that we just had Mitch give a farewell. I'm going to try to bring Mitch back on this show too to say goodbye to our audience here. Of course, we wish Mitch the best of luck. The one thing I'll say is, there were a lot of decisions that were kind of hanging in the balance. Really didn't know what was going on. So as soon as we figured it out, we'll go ahead and bring it to you. Now, as far as the market goes, let's talk about the market here. I want to go ahead and first start with trade the pool. I'm going to start with what we carried overnight. So again, we did pretty well yesterday. Actually ended up hitting the day trade at the end too. It did come through and actually be profitable. So we were 3 for 3 in small size yesterday, but a nice little start, and we are still carrying TGTX. Now, again, the big thesis here is that biotechs might be big here in 2024, especially early in 2024. This was a really good winner, held over from last year on a company that I think can still go higher here, or a price that can still go higher here. So still hanging on to this. We're pretty deep in the green, but we're always looking for new opportunities as well. So let me go ahead and get pro up here. Let's talk about the SPY. Let's talk about what's moving here and then what you folks are actually seeing, how we're preparing. I don't have a guest right now, but I suspect we might be getting one in just about an hour. So we'll see how that works out here. Now, taking a look at the SPY, where we left off yesterday was that we were kind of talking about the 20-day moving average being support. One of the things that we said is we really didn't want to see it kind of track along that moving average. Let me go ahead and turn my 500 on here too. We didn't necessarily want to see it track along that moving average and then kind of compress and then wait for a bigger move. So we'll see if this is the bottom, if we do kind of trade up after we got that data print here. The data print that I'm referring to is the US unemployment rate for December. Came in at 3.7 versus a 3.8 estimate. The prior reading was 3.7%. We also got non-farm payrolls for December, 216,000 versus the 170,000 estimate. So unemployment rate here for December, 7.1% versus the 7% prior. So we did get that data here. That's moving the market. Really, the question is going to be, do we continue to bounce here? Do we roll back over to the lows? We'll see when the market actually opens here today. Now, one thing worth noting, yesterday, we were actually 10 million shares on the SPY under the average volume. So the move that we got yesterday, that up move and then that slow bleed, it was on lower than average volume. Volumes at the close of the day are going to be something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on, at least for the next several weeks, just to kind of gauge when we're going to be back to normal, if you will, in terms of actual trading. Let's go ahead and hit the movers tool first. And real quick, Jay Rice, good morning. First of all, TGTX will be at the JPM conference next week presenting. Possible catalyst. Don't know if that's going to send it up or down, but that does seem like a really good catalyst. Can't wait to see what comes of that. Again, we're still holding. And the best part about this trade is that we actually did it well at the outset. We had a really good entry. We didn't chase, and we were able to shave some of that position to pay ourselves on the way up. This makes it a lot easier to hold, and I've already got profit booked here, so I'm a lot less nervous about holding through some type of binary event like that conference. Now, let's go ahead and check on the movers tool here, check on some of the stocks that are gapping and trading up here this morning. that are likely going to be in play when the market opens. And then I'm going to turn it over to you guys. I want to run down some stocks that you folks are looking at. We'll go ahead and take a look, see if we can come up with any type of plan, and then go from there. Now, the first one here is going to be ticker AIMD, Alpha India. What's M? Mike Delta. This is Anos. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, this stock was about $2 yesterday, and we're just above 4 here. Now, this thing popped. Now, what's interesting is when I was checking earlier, I didn't see any news on this, right? Okay, so I did see we got a Form 8 here after hours yesterday, but I haven't seen anything fresh here today. So it'll be interesting to see how this actually trades. Definitely want to see how it reacts when the market actually opens. You can see we have some pretty good volume here today. And in fact, we've traded 12.5 million shares on a stock that trades on average less than 20,000. So this is likely to be in play all day and is likely to be wild. We'll see what we get. Keep in mind, the stock's already up 141%. So if we're going to trade things like this, it's going to be designed scalps, designed short duration trades so that we don't suffer through any type of pullback or regression to the mean, considering how much this stock is up here today. Okay, that takes care of AIMD. Next one here on the list is going to be BNZI, Bonsai International. Now, here's the thing with this one. I feel like I've seen this ticker before. I might be confusing it with another one, but I feel like I've seen this ticker before. However, I cannot place how this thing trades. So if we look at some of the stats here, I actually don't have a float reading here. On average, trades about 330,000 shares a day. And today we've already traded just under 7 million, likely to be 7 million shares by the time the market opens here. So we'll see how this one trades. Do we have yeah, we do. Bonsai International is a marketing technology, MarTech they're calling it? Okay, cool. Company that produces data-driven marketing and sales solutions for businesses of all size. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of kind of corporate jargon there. We'll see if this ends up being a pretty decent trader here today. You can see we are up just under 63% here. The good news about this so far is that we've got some pretty good action here in the pre-market. We had a pop, we had a move back down to VWAP where we kind of bounced through it a few times, and then we pushed away from it and actually tried to come back in and back test it before pushing higher. So there's definitely seems to be some strength here early. Really, the question is going to be, does this strength carry into the market or into the open and then into the regular session? We'll see here, BNZI. Let me go back to, or let me go to the next one here. SGD, Safe and Green Development. Well, I will say right off the top here, good name for a company, right? Safe and Green. You can imagine that that's going to attract some eyeballs here, but I don't actually know what this company does. Never seen this before. We did pop just over 240, high at 248. Again, another stock that is way over its average. Don't have a float for this one either. And as far as news goes, let me go back here to the news tab. Once again, didn't really see anything here. So it seems like maybe we've got some momentum moves, some unpopular stocks that are being pushed around here for whatever reason. So keep that in mind. Looking at this, we did kind of have some strength through most of the pre-market session. Now we've lost our VWAP. Let's wait and see if we can actually firm up a spot here once the market opens. We want to have that tradable bottom or good entry spot for the stock before we take that. No, the next one here. Oh, man. I am familiar with IMUX. We've actually talked about IMUX quite a bit here on the show. There's been a number of different PRs that have caused the stock to pop over the course of time. There were a while ago, there was actually like a price target of like $71 on this. Let me see if I can actually find that. Let's see, analyst ratings. Yeah, right here. So back in 2020, August of 2020, Piper Sandler gave a $71 price target on the stock. Now, it never got there. Stock's $1.75 right now, so looks a little outlandish. But in any case, we've seen this before. We've seen IMUX have some type of PR, some type of news story, some type of big pop, and in almost every case, it comes back in shortly after that. So we want to take a look at IMUX. Again, short duration trade. When I look here at the chart here, maybe we did kind of bottom, and we're coming off this rounding bottom. That's good sign on the daily chart, but we'll see what it looks like intraday, and we'll see if we get some day trading opportunities on that. Next here, I've got Peloton. Now, Peloton, again, we've been talking about this recently because there has been news. You can see yesterday we actually had multiple good trading opportunities on this. We'll see if we get another one here today. One of the things, in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and mark this right now. One of the things that we absolutely want to see is going to be a break of this top here. I've got it marked at 664, but realistically, we can call that the area between 660 and 670. If we break through that, maybe we can get some juice going here. Want to confirm that break, though, because we might actually reverse at this point as well. So Peloton looking like this is going to be another one of the stocks in play here today. Now, okay, let me go to the chat and see what is going on here. Okay. So, what did you guys... I don't see tickers yet. Mitch got his CFA certificate. We'll have to ask him. That I don't know off the top of my head. Like I said, I don't have a whole ton of information. Smoke Tuna got his eyes on IMUX. Let's go. SGD can move. Humble Ninja, I'm assuming that you've traded that before. Rick saying SGD has been over 7 before, so a pretty good range here. SGD currently at $2. We'll see where we end up going there. Okay. What else do you folks want to take a look at? The 13 saying the news in IMUX bears reading. Seems like there will be a good floor with that news. Okay, and that's good to know. I mean, we'll go through that here. I don't necessarily want to read it here on screen, but private placement, $240 million. Maybe this is an actual bottom here. I have no shares in this. I have no plans to actually swing this or trade this on a longer time frame. If I do trade this today, it would be a day trade. If we want to have discussions about what this actually means for the company going forward and maybe some prospects for that, be happy to do that as well. Let's see. Michael, thank you very much. Bonsai CEO purchased additional shares in the market on December 21st. I have purchased additional shares of Bonsai stock in the open market, and I may continue to do so if the price remains at or below these levels. So the CEO clearly trying to put a bottom in there by saying that. God bless. We'll see if that ends up working, and we'll see if that gives us a trading opportunity here today. All right, let's go ahead and move over. Was there anything else that you folks want to take? Nando, you want to take a look at Amazon? Let's do that here. Let's do that. Let's take a look at Amazon here. So Amazon looks relatively flat here. Obviously, it's been on a huge run recently. I will say that the current pullback that we're in, this to me is not really of any concern. If the market starts to accelerate to the downside and starts breaking some of its support levels, that's one thing. But given the recent run that we've had here in Amazon, this just looks like a fairly orderly pullback here. If we take a look here, I wouldn't actually be surprised if Amazon comes into that 141, maybe 142 level before turning around here. We'll see. Obviously, there could be some type of news event or news print that might change that. We'll see how that goes here. Okay. Morning, Nick. Good to see you. Carmen, good to see you. Wisdom BXSL. I don't think I recognize that ticker. Let's take a look at that. Blackstone Secured Lending Fund. Yeah, not familiar with this. Really nice looking daily chart here. Wisdom, if you have any information on this or what this is, would love to hear it. This does look like it's trying to test a breakout here. Maybe we get a 30 move here. Never traded this, never really watched it. Maybe I'll keep it on my watch list here for today and see how that actually moves or how that actually trades. Was there anything else in here? I guess AMD and Nvidia. So we're getting a little bit of a trade up here after the last several days of tech really kind of being sold. You know, it's interesting. We really haven't even taken the intraday high yesterday off on AMD. We'll see where some of these tech names go. Not necessarily. I think that there's probably going to be, let's put it this way. I think there's probably going to be some easier trades for us. But we'll see if tech starts moving. Maybe that'll be the cue here for today. One other thing I wanted to mention here yesterday. This is actually, I believe Hatim brought this up on happy hour last night. QS, what a monster move in QS yesterday. And it's doing a really good job of kind of holding that level here today. Very, very clear to me that 950 is going to be the spot today. I currently have a VWAP here of 920. So that range seems to be the tradable range there. Watch this if this breaks through 950. I got to think that if we break 950 to the upside, at minimum, we're going to get a 10 test. Let's see what happens at 10, and let's see if we pop above there. Mobileye, EKS, you're talking about Mobileye. This is bouncing. Remember, we had a huge sell-off in Mobileye yesterday. We're bouncing here today. We'll see if we can actually kind of get into this gap that might provide, and this is kind of what I meant, by the way, about having some better opportunities to trade. If Mobileye really gets going here, I could see this being a fairly decent day trade. Wisdom saying BXSL has a lot to do with aerospace and defense. Okay, totally understand that. That seems like a pretty good pick. You know, we've been talking about RTX recently a lot on the happy hour. Let's take a look at that chart here real quick, because this one might actually make for a pretty good swing. RTX here, you can see we're really kind of just hanging out in a range the last couple of days. If we flip over to a daily chart, though, the picture becomes a little bit more clear. We were really selling off. In fact, the last time that we were trading RTX here in this show, we were trading it right around a 73 handle. I think I traded that from 73 to 75. Boy, oh boy, I wish I hung on to that. But we might get another crack at the same stock here. So you can see we actually really came off that bottom. We actually broke out of this consolidation area, and it looks to me like what it's trying to do is chew up all of the sellers in this consolidation area and maybe move higher. Now, the really cool thing here is if we do that here, we got a pretty decent gap fill. I got about 88.72 all the way up to 96. So this would be a decent swing here. I have no position in RTX, but I am absolutely looking into adding here and maybe getting some exposure here. So Quantum, the fact that you're bringing up another aerospace and defense stock is definitely interesting. Okay. Morning 1 hour loop. Morning. EWM, we're going to try to get Mitch on today, and I'm going to try to have him explain it. I'm certainly not privy to everything that's going on, and there's no way that I'm going to speak for my good friend. I'm going to let him do that himself. EWM. So hope to have. Oh, whoa, Mitch, your ears must have been burning.
Oh, that's what happens. You can't say my name 3 times in the mirror without me showing up. So be careful out there.
Okay, good warning, because I generally get to 2, and now I'll just stay there instead of going to 3. Good morning.
It's like the genie, you know, and then all of a sudden I pop up. All right, what's going on, team? I did want to go ahead and say farewell, unfortunately, but it's not farewell, really. It's just the opening of a new chapter where my man Ryan takes over live trading. I saw 13 on just the other day. Who knows? You guys get to now join the show. So if you guys are interested and want to go ahead and become the team at Benzinga, go ahead and reach out to Ryan. Or you just want to be on the trading show, reach out to Ryan. I'm sure he's going to go ahead and get you a part of the show. I did want to tell you guys that I am going to be moving on to a new project. I'm going to be leaving Benzinga as I move on to the next level. As you guys will miss my man Hendrix and myself here on the show. We'll keep pushing forward. I'm going to continue growing to the next level in my career, and that's really what this is all about. It has nothing to do with live trading or that I don't want to continue with you guys. To tell you guys the truth, you guys are definitely one of the parts of my day that I used to love every single day. And now that I don't have it, it definitely feels like I'm missing something. I'm missing Ryan. I'm missing you guys out there. So I do want to let you guys know that I miss you guys a lot. But at the end of the day, this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you guys out there supporting me every single day, whether it be on live trading, whether it be on pre-market prep, start swing trade. You guys have really gotten me to where I am today. And that's what I really had to do, is give thanks, because I'm really grateful for you guys out there. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have made it to this ability to continue moving on and doing better for my family. So that's why I'm moving on, and I am made this hard decision. It wasn't a light decision to make. It was something that I felt that I needed to do for the best of my career. But will I be missing my man Ryan? Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Mute. I won't be here for that.
That's what I'm going to miss the most. All the assists that Mitch has been giving me since I met him. Mitch, I like what you said at the beginning there. You're moving on, but you're not saying goodbye. I'll say this, at least for my own, but just on a personal note here. Just to kind of tease the audience here, I wouldn't be shocked if you saw Mitch and I collaborate on something in the future. I consider Mitch to be a really, really good friend. I think he's a very sharp guy. Him and I do one of the things that I have with Mitch is we don't agree on everything. And that actually really helps me then poke holes in the things that I do think. And Mitch is not one of the things that you're really good at, Mitch, is you're really good at having a countering opinion without being abrasive or being a jerk. Frankly, you're the opposite of that. You're the antithesis of that. So I really appreciate that. I will say to everyone here in the chat, whatever beverage you have, whether it's OJ, coffee, maybe even a little booze, I don't know, we are going to do one last swig with the pinky up in honor of Mitch. So everyone out there, take your drink, pinkies up. Mitch, congratulations on the new project. And best of luck where you go forward.
I will wish everybody the best of luck also, because at the end of the day, that's why we did this show, is for you guys to push forward. So I really hope that we were able to pay it forward and push to the next level. Keep up with me like always on my Twitter. That's probably the #1 place where you can find me. It might just be Money Mitch something else, not BZ in the future, but that doesn't mean that I will not stay up with you guys. Of course, I follow you guys on a consistent basis and keep up with you guys. So Ryan, keep kicking ass, man. I will truly, truly miss you, my friend.
Yeah, likewise.
And it's just a closing of a chapter, a new one for me and a new one for you guys on this show. So I wish you guys the best. Get after it. The market's open. Go kill it, team.
Yep.
Like always, much love.
Really appreciate that, Mitch. Really appreciate that, Mitch. And like Mitch said there, well, he will be missed from the show. He will not be missed forever. Like I said, we'll keep in touch, Mitch. We got plenty of different things to work on and talk about. We'll be around. Take care of yourself.
Money Mitch, signing off.
All right. So definitely a little melancholy here, but don't worry, folks. We're going to be able to make sense of this. We're going to be able to kind of push forward here. All of the lessons that Money Mitch has preached over these years are still applicable. We're still going to work on that. And like I said, I have an excellent relationship with Mitch, and nothing is going to change that. Real quick here, I'm going to switch over to Trade the Pool here in a sec, but real quick, as you can see, IMUX really kind of selling off here right out of the open. Really could not get back through that VWAP, getting a nice rejection. Let's see if we can just get this to settle and give a tradable bottom. Some other stocks here that are being mentioned. Let's take a look at BNZI. This was from the list here. This looks like this is continuing, or actually, no, I beg your pardon. This is actually selling off here out of the open. We'll see if this comes back down to VWAP and sets up. AIMD, another stock here from that list, breaking beneath the VWAP. We'll wait for this to set up. Well, I tell you what, a lot of this stuff breaking down. Let's be patient and wait for a setup. Let's be patient and wait for a setup. Yes, humble he is. He's moving on to the next phase in his project, but don't worry. Like I said, still a friend, and we will still coordinate and work together on things. So don't worry about that. BMR. Okay, let me do that, and let me figure out here how to get the BMR, nice call here, by the way. This is breaking out. Okay, let me figure out how to get the actual trading platform up here. It's one of these different scenes. I think it might be this one. And if we remove this, make that full. No. Let's see. Which one is it? There we go. Smaller picture, bigger on the trading platform. Okay, so back over to Trade the Pool here. And by the way, Stream is still sponsored by Trade the Pool. Easily the best prop firm that I've had the experience of working with over the course of my career. Get up to 260K in buying power. And if you're someone that's struggling with that pattern day trader rule, that pesky pattern day trader rule, prop firm might just be the answer to you. We're really lucky because Gil hangs out in the chat here and provides support. Great bunch of guys over there. Be sure to check it out. Let's go ahead and trade. Now, interestingly enough here, TGTX lower out of the open, but now we're going higher here. Let's see if we can punch over yesterday's highs. Okay, let's take a look here at IMUX. Let's see what's going on. Okay, let's see if we break through here. You know what? I'm gonna take a starter here. We're actually going to start small here. We're just going to start 300, but buy it right here. My stop's going to be this low, right? We come down to this low and break 160 here. We're going to be out. I would like to see it push above the VWAP here. The one thing that I will say right now, I added some risk to this trade. Remember, I'm kind of front running it by buying it ahead of the VWAP. In a lot of cases, I like to see if that confirms. Sometimes that move is quick. In this one, we're actually going to front run it a little bit here and get some exposure. We'll see. We'll see if we can actually get this to push above. Smoke Tuna, you in IMUX at 170? You got a 1 cent price better than I did. Jeff Dees, good morning, my man. Great to see you here this morning. QQQ hit 393.70 in the pre-market and roared back to 396. Don't know if the rally will hold. Could have an intraday breakdown. Well, this on the last show, this rally got dubbed the Mitch rally, so I feel pretty good about it going forward here today. Let's take a look at POL. Looks like POL that was called earlier by 13. I think 13 stepped away here. Let's take a look. Oh, this is a good move here. This was right at about 715. Yeah, 715, 720 here. Now above 8. With me being late on this, let's see if this actually kind of comes back and then gives us an opportunity to load back up again. By the way, QS, this is exactly the type of thing that we wanted to see here. QS, down move here, a little bit violent out of the open through that VWAP, but a big bounce here on QS. Let's see what ends up happening with QS here. Keep this one on radar. No position here. Still, only new position today, I beg your pardon, is IMUX. We'll wait and see if we end up getting some movement here. Does have some pretty good size here as support at 170. Oop, they just lost it. All I had to do was start talking about it. How many times have we seen that? So what I'm going to do here now is I'm actually going to get a stop set so I can walk away from this. Let's go ahead and do that right under here. Okay, we're going to get a stop set there. Remember, we just have a starter position, so if we get stopped out on a starter, it's really no big deal. We should be able to make that back fairly easily if this does set up again. I do want to roll through some of the other stocks here, and I actually really want to keep my eye on POL because it looks like that's moving here pretty good. And I want to see if that's going to set up again. Huge spread here. Is this spread right? 824 by 780. Oh my God, 44-cent spread. No way I'd be able to trade that one. No way I'd be able to trade that one. ECAT. Let's take a look at ECAT. You know I like any ticker with cat in it. Now, come on. BlackRock ESG Capital Allocation Trust. This looks like this might be going higher here. Wouldn't be surprised. Huge. Is that a ticker, or are you just saying that there's a huge move somewhere? That's got to be, you got to be talking about something else. BNZI curling. Let's take a look at that here real quick. Still in IMUX. Does this not have BNZI? Did I get the wrong ticker? BNZI. Okay, BNZI, unfortunately not in trade the pool. Let me go ahead and flip back. I think what I need to do is this one. No, this. There we go. You know what? I'm just going to do this and this. Oh, here we go, folks. We got an easy switch now. Let's go. Okay, let's take a look here at BNZI. So this is, and Miles, great call here, because one of the things that we really like to see here is this comes back in. Now, it didn't quite touch the VWAP, so probably would have missed this here had I have had this up. But this is exactly the type of thing that we want to see, right? Not only are we curling up, but check out the volume down here. That first candle is some expanding volume. Let's see where this candle ends up finishing. We'll say if the volume finishes lower here, don't be surprised if this turns around. Getting a great curl here so far. Great call, Miles. Great call on this one. I think that you were probably calling that right in here, probably prior to 3. Wow, big move coming here on BNZI. Look at the volume stick. Giddy up. Let's see if it takes out the high here. I've got that high print at 319. Bang, right to it. And it stopped. I'm going to bring this up in a different window too, just in case I take it off the screen. Miles, really impressed with this one. Nexi halted out of the gate. Okay, we'll take a look at that here when we figure out what BNZI does. High print here, 323 now. 328 now. Boy, that happened in a hurry. I didn't even see that on the chart. I just see the volume prints there. BNZI, big volume stick here. Great call, Miles. Oh, and quantum. Yeah, one of the other things that I'm going to do here, I'm going to bother Mitch, just so you folks are aware. I'm going to straight up bother and pester him for pictures of Hendricks, because in addition to missing Mitch, that's not easy to say. I'm also going to miss Hendricks. So don't worry. I'll be able to share some of those things too. All right, BNZI stopped right there about 320. Looks like it's coming back in. That might not hold. We might be able to break that top off again. We'll see. Here's Nexi. This is another stock that you folks are trading. Wow, big pop into a halt. We'll wait for that to open here. SGD stopped by that VWAP and came back in. Cadix, that's just a penny stock. I'm not even going to mess with that. That's at its VWAP, though, for you penny players out there at the VWAP. Okay, iTub. I'm not even familiar with that one. Okay, let's go back to the trading platform here, and let's see where we're at. So IMUX still not getting going yet, but that's okay. We'll wait this one out. So this is breaking down. What we really need is we need some buying volume to step in here, and it might not. If it does, great. We'll have a trade on our hands. If it doesn't, we'll have to go find something else. Jay Rice, STZ, good start or good enough report. Let's take a look at that. What's wrong? There we go. There we go. So Constellation Brands. So they were talking about this on CNBC earlier. I actually missed the discussion, though, as I was making my coffee. Looks like this tried to sell off twice here and really hasn't been able to. Moving higher here. If we look on the daily chart here, we're now punching above these moving averages. This looks like a great breakout, right? This looks like a kind of a great, let's back out here a little bit more. We have a little bit of consolidation right here around 250, currently at 248. So maybe we stop there temporarily. But if we can take that out, I like our next stop here at 261. Jay, are you in this? Do you have an upside target on this? Just out of curiosity. This looking good here, though. This one looking good here, that's for sure. How about quadruple C? Was one that's been moving. Crow, I think, was on this yesterday. Weren't you, Crow? You're out there? Okay, Jay, so, okay, you're not in that. Are you looking to initiate a position in that? Or what are you using that information for, I guess, is the easier way to say this. C4 did have a little bit of a movement yesterday. Looks like it's trying to get a little bit jiggy here, but I don't really see anything viable here. BNZI did set a new high and immediately pulled after that. I'd actually like this to come back into VWAP on BNZI. So here's my trade setup from BNZI. So we missed that first move. That's okay. If this thing comes back, oh, we can't bring it up and trade the pool. Darn. Okay. If that comes back into 280, maybe let's call it 285, right? Because the last time here, let's flip back and I'll show you exactly why I'm saying that. If we go back here and we take BNZI, where are you? Okay, so the last time we came back into the VWAP, we didn't quite get there, and we had a pretty substantial bounce. What we want to see is if that happens again. So I'm going to have that measured out to about 285. I was right there just by ballparking it. And we get to 285, 286, maybe this thing turns around. Otherwise, I kind of like to see some more downside here. I really want this to flush out some of the weaker hands, right? And some of the people that have maybe been in since the pre-market or been in for that initial move, I'd love for them to get flushed out so we can get some more buyers and move it to new highs. Drama reversal. Okay, let's go back there. Okay, thanks, Jay. Sorry, just trying to get in as much information as I can. Let's take a look here at drama real quick. Looks like this is nice. So this is a 3-minute chart. This is the smoked tuna special, as I like to call it here. 3-minute chart utilizing VWAP and MACD. This does look like this is kind of coming back up. Maybe this tries to trade back up towards that VWAP. We're 10 cents away here. Penny stock, I'm going to stick away with it. I was stopped out of IMUX, by the way. That position is gone here. Let's take a look and see what it ends up doing. Did it flush me and bounce? No, it actually continued lower here. So, okay, we'll wait for IMUX to set up again. If it does, maybe it'll be stronger that second time around. BNZI didn't get anywhere near that VWAP and already bounced. If this sets a lower high here, look for VWAP to be the next move there. MPTI, Sydney, good morning, Sydney. Hopefully you're doing well here today on this chilly Chicago morning. What did you say? It like, will it hold? So you're looking at the daily chart here. We have some kind of these upper wicks and upper shadow. Looks like there was some pretty good resistance here right around $40. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this pulled back to that 32 area. We've got the 20-day moving average there at 32.57, and we have the 50-day moving average there at 32.09. So I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back to that area before bouncing. Would not be shocked. So what else are you guys looking at here? Okay, nothing else. I'm going to flip back. I've got no trades on right now, so let me flip back to the scanner and try and identify one. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Shout them out if you see them. Let's take a look at Poll, right? Because we already had that one moving here. Poll did take some new highs here. So gosh, I shouldn't have even taken this one off. Let me put this back on here. Let's come up with a possible entry plan here if this works. 794 your VWAP. I'd like for this to come back in another 50 cents here. Man, congrats to all of you that hit this earlier here. 2 expanding volume instances already here today. Decent trade setups there. And it's 28. I described 28 as chilly. BNZI flagging in here. See if it ends up taking out the highs. There we go. Let's get that 1 minute. This was a spec, wasn't it? Let's see if we get those highs. It's really stopping here. 335. Let's see. And actually, let me go ahead and add that VWAP back here. Okay. AXGN. Let's take a look at that. Is that on the scanner? No, I didn't see it there. But let's take a look at it nonetheless. And Jay Wild, you were saying Nexi is open. We'll take a look at that too. AXGN, this I don't see an entry here. This is kind of running away. Let's take a look here at Nexi. Nexi open, looking like it's going to go for those highs. Boy, this thing's wild. POL, by the way, that little pullback here, right back up towards the highs. We'll see if that takes it off. All right, I'm going to flip back over to trade the pool here. There we go. There we go. And let's watch Nexi. Let's see what it does here. TGATX trimming some more. Jay, what a great trade that was, huh? NXTI, okay, looks like we're going to try to break. There it goes. And higher here on NXTI. Looks like we popped right through that high. Really, really spready. Again, that high of daybreak, not a great day trading setup there. Just real kind of spread. Volume's not huge here. Let's see if this actually builds and goes higher here. Jay, you were on this earlier, Jay Wild. You were on this early here. IONM, another penny stock here. This rejected at VWAP. It's not looking great. Let's see. Did we get IMUX really just kind of flushed out that stop there at low a day and bouncing. So here's what we'll say. If we can actually get above the VWAP and confirm that, maybe we'll be set up here for IMUX. I don't want to take another stab at the same thing, considering that first trade didn't work out here. Started 3 for 3 yesterday, starting out 0 for 1 here today, unfortunately. Some of the more of these stocks. Look at ALIT here, man. What a move. What a move yesterday. This would have been a great swing overnight yesterday. Actually, looking at that daily chart, maybe we'll go higher here. Let me go back to Pro, get a little bit bigger of a view there. Here we go. Possible breakout here on ALIT. Look at this daily. Look at this daily. Kevin asking, can we look at AI for support? Your thoughts, please. Yes, we can absolutely do that. Let's do that right now. You're meaning C3 AI. By the way, BNZI reversing here real quick before we go into this, just because we talked about this being a potential trade setup. Let's go ahead and review it again. BNZI pulling here and back towards the VWAP. So the VWAP now at 286. This actually might have been at 293. Let's watch 290, 286 to 290, potential bounce spot here for BNZI. But now let's go back, Kevin, and take care of your AI support level. Just watch BNZI. We are coming back in here to VWAP. Okay. Let's take a look at the daily chart here. We're going to take a look, Kevin, in order to find, you know what? Let me flip over to my other one here. We're going to maximize the amount of space on the chart that we can see. Then we'll flip back over to the trade the pool platform here and actually see if we can trade it. Okay, couple of things that I noticed right away. First of all, you can see how a lot of these moving averages in here, and these are just your standard ones, your 53, your 200. They're really kind of coiling here. We're beneath all of them. Just kind of looking at the candles here. We are currently in a downtrend. Now, as far as support, which is what your initial question was, I suspect we would find a little bit right in here about 26, let's call it 26. I think you've got some more support down here at about 23 and a half. And then I think about 23. I suppose if this continued to sell off, this 500 would dip a little bit more as well. So maybe call it 2250 to 23. You definitely have some pretty decent support under here, but it looks like those supports are going to be tested. BNZI, by the way, we are at that VWAP now on BNZI. So just to kind of reiterate some of those levels there, Kevin, before I move on here, 24, I would see one there, maybe 26-ish. And then pay attention to those moving averages on the daily chart. Let me take a look really quickly at the weekly. Yeah, weekly 2250, that lines up with one of our daily support zones. That one's good. And then 2415, let's call that 24. So yeah, I think a lot of these really kind of line up here. I think your low 20s, you've got several support levels in there, Kevin. Really quickly on BNZI, we did come back in, actually touched the VWAP this time. We are bouncing here. This is about 10-cent bounce so far on BNZI. This is the trader, and unfortunately, this one's not in Trade the Pool, so I'm going to keep this here for right now. You're saying IMUX could have bottomed. Okay, we can take a look at that too. Here, let me flip over this. Tuna, here's what I'd like to know. So when you've said that a couple of times over the past several days about some of the different plays that you're watching here. When you are taking a look at this, what is it that where you're saying it is maybe potentially bottomed? Are you observing what the MACD is doing? Is it these kind of wicks and really its inability to break down here? Maybe this is your intraday bottom. Are you looking at longer term support levels? What is it about this particular chart that's telling you that it reached a near term bottom? By the way, while we're talking here, and I know Jay already talked about trimming some of it, TGTX, nothing but green candles here in the 3-minute. We are pushing up here 20, the next target, 1915 currently on TGTX. This one has been a good winner. You got it, Kevin. No problem. SGD Curlin here. Why didn't that load up there? SGD, it's got it, right? Yeah, right there. Ah, nice. Good call there. And we actually moved through the VWAP. High 220 here. Let's see if we end up taking that off. Lynn saying, thanks, Ryan, for holding this space for all of us to learn, trade, and invest. Mitch will be missed. Let's all rally and carry on. Absolutely. And like I said, I got a really good relationship with Mitch, and I will figure out a way to incorporate that. We will always try to keep the tenets of this show the same. We will try and help with learning and a processed approach. That is always going to be the goal. Jay Rice, this is really interesting. So the short interest for TGTX still high going into that JPM conference. This could really make for a gangbusters trade on the other side of it. If it's those shorts, here's some really good news and start to cover. I'd be excited about that. We'll see. Smoke Tuna, I appreciate this. If IMUX does not takes in of previous lows. Wow, Tuna. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to need you to redo that one. I also have anchored view bottom of the candle to watch. Yeah, sorry, man. I'm gonna need some more there. That was kind of a choppy sentence. By the way, great call here, SGD. This is moving off the VWAP here. Let's see if it takes out that intraday high and goes higher. Jonathan, SWVL multi-day runner. This one wasn't even really on my list at all. Swivel. This was like a slow grind higher, getting a little bit more here. Look at this move on the daily chart. Look at this move. This was from like what, 101? So already over 100%, 120% here. Nice. Nice move on this one. Sorry I missed this one, folks. By the way, that bounce in BNZI, very, very short-lived, already back in the VWAP. Careful if you're in there. SGD unable to take out that intraday high yet, really kind of stopping there. We'll see where that finishes up. Look around here and see if I see anything else. Don't really see much else here. I guess Win is really kind of trading up. All right. Poll flagging. Let's bring up poll because that one is likely to be in play a lot of the day here today. Here is poll. It is flagging right above that VWAP here. You know what? This actually might be decent entry. What do I have here at the VWAP? 824. See if we get back down there. A little risky here on this one, but let's see what we do. MACD looks like it's really kind of coming in. We'd like for that to firm. See if we end up getting that here on poll. Now it's starting to spread back out. Is this spread? This is just, that's not something. Let's see if we break through VWAP here. There it is. Big snap through VWAP. I want this to firm up and I want the spread to compress. I mean, this is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Gemini, good morning. Yes, so far today I am doing this on my own. I am hoping to snag 13 though. You guys really seem to like 13 and his trading ideas. Trying to bring him on here. He does have some obligations in the morning though. Look at that. Look at the, yeah, you're talking about that red candle here, but look, man, they bought it right back up to that VWAP. Just the spread at this. Look at this. This is spread 50 cents. He explains 50 cents. The spread is 50 cents. Okay, IMUX. Yep, that is continuing. See, this is the other thing. This is why you'll hear me say over and over again, your first stop is your best stop. You can keep yourself out of trouble like this. I'll stick with a little loss. I mean, I got another one of my holdings running like crazy here today. Last thing I want to do is hang on to something just for hope and have it get worse and worse here. Jeff D is saying that the momentum has stopped on the what was that? On the SPY and the QQQ. Let's take a look at that here real quick. Let's take a look at the broader market here. Let me get my other window up here. Boom, boom. Okay. So that market bounce, this is what Jeff's talking about. We really did kind of stall out here. Let's see if we revert back to the mean. Good morning, Dennis. Great to see you. Beach Bum, good morning. But T-Cell rejected off pivot point. Let's take a look here at T-Cell, Beach Bum. Or Teckle, not T-Cell. T-E-C-L. Ooh, I actually like this daily here. We really kind of just came into the 50. Looks like maybe we're kind of trying to bounce off of that. Zoom out here and see what we're... Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can get back. Well, this is going to be the tech trade, right? Yeah, this is the direction. Okay, this is the levered direction. I'm sorry about that. This is the levered direction ETF. So this is going to move with tech. If this move here if this down move, well, let's take a look at the Qs here first. If the down move here in Qs finds any type of support, that TECL might be a decent long. As far as the Qs go, maybe VWAP here, 396. What is NVIDIA doing here today? Get that up on a different chart here. NVIDIA is actually higher. Okay. Pull back now, but again, if that finds support, maybe that reverses. Can I lighten the ticker watermark? Yes, great idea, actually. No, I'm not as familiar with how to do that, but yeah, you know what? We did that on the other one, Jonathan. We did that on the other chart, and it really helped, didn't it? So yeah, let's do that here. Do we do settings? Yeah, here we go. View watermark. Here we go. Watermark, and let's make it. We're going to do the same thing with the yellow. That seems to be really easy to see. Let's make it a little bit more opaque here and then apply it. How's that? That actually might be a little too opaque just because it kind of goes over the candles. Let me dial that down a little bit here. Apply. How's that? There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Let me know if that's easier or if that will do it. I'm pretty much only gonna adjust this chart here on Trade the Pool. The other charts still have a watermark, but it's very, very grayed out. This is the easiest one to see anyway. So. Okay. Great job. Okay. Awesome. You can see it here. Pretty good. Okay. Awesome. You guys are talking about Zim. This continuing to move higher here. This just what a massive move. I did notice this. This is by the way, folks, just so you're all aware, this is the sign of a mature and experienced trader here. Jay saying, Zim, this was a good call. I was wrong. I poo-pooed the move. Being able to readjust when the facts change here is one of the things that's going to keep you profitable. Jay, I know you've been a big fan of, you can be wrong, but don't stay wrong. Practicing what you preach here. Absolutely love to see it. I will say, as far as Zim goes, because of how fast it moved, I was like, I don't want to chase these big green candles here. Now, it's all tied to the shipping rates. And I believe there was a shipping rate increase yesterday per Drury. I don't know what the details are off that, but anyway, this moving higher here. I don't want to chase this. I want this to come back in. I want this to try to make some support. BNZI, big breakdown now from the VWAP. Wisdom saying I got Zim 2 months ago. Yeah, that's been good for you then. It's been a good 2 months probably there in single digits on your initial buy there. Let me flip back to the scanner here. Not in anything at the moment. Let me flip back to the scanner and then we will take a look at trading. So as you can see here, BNZI breaking down here. AIMD. This maybe found a bottom here, AIMD. Let's see if we can close back to the VWAP. We'd like to see some volume kind of expand into that up move, but this doing a really good job holding 363. Let me actually load that up here and trade the pool. Hey, Mike. Good morning. Good to see you. How you doing? What are you looking at here today, Mike? What do you got on? You know, our futures trade, you waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, getting the coffee on early? Oh, big pop here in the SPY. Big pop here in the entire broader market. Hughes, SPY, Dow, everything popping here. Let me see if there was a piece of news. ISM non-manufacturing prices for December. Higher, durable. ISM non-manufacturing employment for December, 43.3 versus the 51 expected. So that number a little light here. Market ripping on that. BTC hugging right around that 44K level. Did QS pop again? We'll take a look at that here. Sorry. Looking around at some other charts here. Let's take a look at QS. Oh no, not again. Not again. Oh, it's just the near-term bars probably. Here we go on QS. Now, is this an actual tradable level? Let's see. 861. I don't know. This is maybe this is just the pre-market low bounce here. Let's see if we reclaim the VWAP here on QS. ALLO. Remember that was a short interest trade that we've talked about recently. This down 15% here today, but trading back up. ALLO. Yeah, we'll see if we can get above this here. Tuna, let me go back to trade the pool here. We'll take a look at this. Looks like you're kind of getting your MACD histogram to move up here on ALLO. Maybe we actually move through that high here, 295. Man, I'm doing nothing. BNZI on its breakdown. I don't know on this one. Wisdom on SOXL, yeah. Any of those long ETFs, TQQQ, SOXL, big moves here on this market pop. SOXL, no, that would have been something to look at here this morning. Amazon, who asked about Amazon earlier? That moving to the highs here with the regular market, or with the broader market, excuse me. Maybe this tops out at 147 on this move. Miles calling Nexi. Oh, spread's not so bad here anymore. Let's see if this breaks higher here. It's trying. Sassy from Tuna. The sassy tuna. I like that. I could get used to that. I could get used to that. Snow ignored 2 downgrades the last 2 days. Look at the daily chart here. You can see we are coming up off this bottom. And this actually bounced off the bottom end of this sideways range here. 194.50 going to be your next your 20-day simple moving average value, which would be the next moving average above it here. Jay, does this give you any type of feeling on tech in general or software companies in general? If this is able to continue to trade well through downgrades, does that tell you about the sector or any other individual names? By the way, Zim continuing to move higher here, 1450 now on Zim.
What up, my man, Ryan? How we doing?
Yo, AB, how's it going, dude?
Wait, hold on, let's see. All right, this is good. We can see everything now. Going well. How's the market handling this the labor data? Let's see. Oh wow, I didn't even realize yeah, we had the big dip right when the market or right when the news came out, and now SPY's rallying. It's good to see. Good to see some green. I wore my green shirt to try to get the market in the green today.
I was gonna say it's like you're affecting him. I'm gonna still call this the Mitch rally. No offense to AB, but I do really appreciate the green shirt, AB. I think it looks sharp.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll make sure to not wear red on Monday then.
You know what's funny too is when I open my closet and I look at my shirts, I'm like, God, do I wear the red shirt today? Like, am I gonna jinx it? I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
Hey, we all got to do our part, right?
We have been looking at Nexi, strong, lean, agile. Awesome handle, by the way. Welcome. We did take a look at Nexi. Actually, there's several people, I believe, trading that here this morning. Nexi just broke higher here. Looking like it's going to try to break higher again. This has been really, really strong. Let me see if we actually got some 1-minute candles here. Yes, we do. It's been really, really strong. I think the next time this comes into the VWAP, that's probably your load area there. Congratulations on your new job, AB. Elon loving it. I
No,
think
yeah, I mean, that
go
was
ahead.
so we were talking on pre-market this morning about if it was gonna be, good news is good news, bad news is bad news, what it was, and I think
Mhm.
basically you just had the gut reaction of the market saying, "Oh my god, the labor market came in hot. That means the Fed's gonna not be able to cut rates, or maybe they're gonna that might make it so they don't cut rates as soon." And then I think over time, over a half hour or so, you had the traders and investors being like, "Oh, hey, maybe it's not a bad thing that the economy is looking pretty strong and doing well." Which that's the side I always like to err on, is just saying, "Hey, okay, what's the screw the immediate reaction. What is this data actually saying?" The data is actually saying, "Hey, look, the U.S. economy remains strong. Unemployment was expected to tick higher to 3.8%, and it didn't. It stayed right at 3.7%." Um, which again, I mean, if the reason you were bearish was because you think a big recession is coming, and then you get news like this, you can't then spin it and say, "Oh no, I'm bearish because the economy is hot, and that means rate cuts aren't coming." I mean, you can try to do that, but I would say no. Like if the economy is strong, I'd still rather be buying stock. So look, it still looks pretty strong, pretty good, and I'm gonna keep maintaining my buys until I see otherwise, until I see something break, until I see that unemployment number really start ticking higher. And then I'll say, okay, maybe that recession that everyone's been talking about is finally coming. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think people just trying to position ahead of it, right? That's some of the front running that you're getting there.
Yeah.
And the reality is if you have a position, I mean, a lot of people are going to try to justify having that position. Real quick here, BNZI, this is Jay Summers, you mentioned that this is gapping up, curling off the bottom here, testing VWAP here, has not been able to move through it. Let's see if it's able to do that here. ATXI setting up. Let me pull that up. Remember, BNZI is not in trade the pool. Let me get ATXI in the trade the pool, and we'll flip back and forth here. AB, if you see anything really moving here, you let me know. BNZI now through the VWAP. Let's go. Let's see if we can get a nice move here on BNZI.
How's QS doing this morning after the huge day yesterday?
Let's take a look at that here real quick. BNZI might be kind of slowing down here. Did you trade QS yesterday?
No, I did not.
Yeah, neither did I. It was brought up here, but
This used to be a stock I held in my. I mean, I don't even want to say publicly what I bought this at.
oh no.
You'd have to do some like Guantanamo Bay torture devices to get my prices, to get my average cost of QuantumScape out of me. But I mean, like, yeah, I think I bought this up, or I don't even know. I'll have to go back and look.
I was going to say that I'm not a huge fan of torture here, but if you're just going to tell us, that's fine.
I know.
I'm guessing maybe $40.
I was about to go saying from you'd have to like torture it out of me to just go ahead and saying it. Which if I had it in front of me, I would tell you guys, because I think it's funny. But it was in that moment where in like the end of 2020 into 2021, where like I don't know, I bought some stocks at just crazy numbers looking back on it, thinking they'd be good investments. I mean, I bought Sunrun, I want to say, at like $80. Let's see what Sunrun's at right now.
The whole thing here with QS that's really kind of driving this here is this talk of the solid state battery.
Yeah, some good testing with Volkswagen. I think so. I think Volkswagen, do they own part of QuantumScape? Are they investing? Or are they doing this project together? I don't know the exact news, but either way, the whole thing with QuantumScape is they've got this technology for EV batteries that's supposed to be like the biggest thing in the world. But for the past, it's all been pre-revenue, right? They haven't actually had this battery on the market selling it to car companies yet. So once they are able to prove that this battery works, this technology is better than what Tesla and all these other companies are currently using, then this thing could take off. But it's almost like a biotech stock that's working on a drug where you don't know if it's going to get approved or not. Because you can buy this down here and hope their battery technology ends up working out, and they execute on these deals, and it'll be a home run if that's the case. I mean, I don't care that it went up 40% yesterday. If that ends up happening in the long run for QuantumScape, this thing will take off. But if you have to be willing, I mean, the only way I'd be buying this right now long term is if you really love the company, love the leadership, and are willing to sit through volatility in the meantime. Because you're going to probably have, continue to have months and months and months, years and years maybe before this thing gets to where they're trying to go. So if you're willing to sit through that volatility, yeah, I don't know what the best way.
I don't either, because the only way I can do it to share the screen is this one. Let me see if I can add camera. There we go. There we go. Let's go, AB. We out here. Boom. Save. Boom. There we go. That look all right?
Yeah, perfect.
We did it. We out here. Okay, Jeff D's wanted to take a look at XLF. Sorry, I got distracted there. Jeff here. Ryan, check out the chart on XLF. Looking interesting. Currently in wave 3 of 5. Okay, so you're talking about the Elliott wave. We'd have to look at a much larger daily chart in order to come up with that. I won't do it here. We'll see if we can do that when we flip back over here. What kind of targets do you have for XLF? I noticed it was someone else earlier here. Ryan, right above you, is saying banks are doing well here. I see Goldman Sachs at highs here today. Let's see about JPM. JP Morgan doing well here today. This is right around the intraday high from yesterday.
I think I'd rather be buying KRE than XLF down here.
You think they're bullish on the regional banks?
Well, I just think that they're still trading below, book value, for the most part on a lot of them. And so, you've gotten a big run up the KRE is up more than 25% in the last 6 months alone. But if you look at it on the year chart, it's still down more than 10% from where it was a year ago. So still, battling the effects of the Silicon Valley Bank crash and First Republic Bank and all these things. But I think overall, when you go through the holdings of the KRE, most of the banks are actually trading under their book value. They're kind of undervalued by the market right now. And I think most of them are really in a pretty good position overall. Obviously, it's not to say there's not, still some big risks involved with these regional banks. But I just still think the run, even though it might feel like we've missed out on this because it's up 25%, like I said, the last 6 months, I still feel like it's got to at least get back up to where we were a year ago, which is closer to $60, and we're trading at around $52 right now. So I'd be looking at about that $8 move, set my price target at $60, set a stop loss maybe at 50 in case anything does happen with the regional banks. But these rate cuts will be a big deal, will be good for the regional banks.
You think we're getting rate cuts in 2024, or you think they just hold off till 2025?
I think we're for sure getting rate cuts in 2024. I'd bet my life savings on that.
Your life savings, okay?
Yeah. So that's what, $832 and a pack of and some lint that I found in my belly button.
Come on now, AB. You've got to have some Cardinals collectible trading cards tucked away somewhere.
Oh, you're right. Actually, I do have my most prized possession. I would only ever get rid of this if I literally was on the streets and needed money to eat. But I do have a signed Albert Pujols bat from his rookie year in the MLB.
Yeah, dude, you're doing fine.
game use. It's so early that it doesn't even. His bat says Alberto Pujols. It doesn't even say Albert because he hadn't been in the league long enough to earn his name yet. So they still were using his Dominican name. But yeah, I mean that's got to be my most prized.
Yeah, no,
I should have said that. Now people are going to be coming to my house looking for that.
Well, at least it's a bat and you can fend them off. Real quick, BNZI here did break above its VWAP. Really, really encouraging trading now that we're kind of trading back and forth above the VWAP. It's building here. Wouldn't be shocked if this actually broke, tested 3. Let's see if we move through 3. By the way,
that's just offensive, JDs. As if you expect me not to know who Ozzie Smith is, one of the most electric shortstops of all time, hitting backflips, the Wizard of Oz. He's the one who hit the home run on Jack Buck's "Go Crazy Folks" call. So yeah, any Cardinals. Here's the thing about Cardinals fans is you get hammered with the lore of the Cardinals from a very young age. So all those old guys, between Stan Musial, Lou Brock, Ozzie Smith, Izzy Dean, you name it, Bob Gibson. I know their stats and stuff better than most people know current players because that's part of being a Cardinals fan is the rich history. And honestly, I mean, like Ryan gets it too, because Chicago is also a great sports town, but the baseball culture in St. Louis, just it being a baseball city. This is great, Ryan. This is 2 days in a row I've hopped on with you. We've gotten to talk baseball. So
look, it's coming. Baseball's coming. I'm really excited for this year. 13. How the heck are you?
Got me on.
What's that?
I didn't realize you brought me on.
Yeah, I did. I had to toggle your mute back and forth because the keyboard was really, really loud. You were really pounding that.
Oh yeah, I was
pounding that keyboard. What are you seeing out here?
Oh, I just got back from taking my kid to school. I was listening to what you said about BNZI, and I was like, oh, let's take a stab at that. And then as soon as I started seeing the bids start to just completely drop, I was like, let's not do that one. So no trades today for me yet. Before I left to take my kid to school, I mentioned Pole. Did we capture any of that? Because it blasted off out at the open.
So I didn't trade Pole here. I think Jay Wild hit that. Jay Wild.
Nice.
Several people actually commented on your POL call here. I didn't trade this, but here's the thing, 13. We're curling back up towards the VWAP here. The one thing that we did when I took a look at this, what scared me off here, this spread is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it is ridiculous. I just don't feel good about trying to quickly trade a stock with this kind of spread.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
So here you go. So Jay said I couldn't get in because of the spread. Jay, this is the same thing that's happening to me. I look at this and I'm shaking from it.
Jay Summers, you got it right. I was in the car kid queue. It's funny because it's raining today, so everybody forgot how to drive, and the line was much longer today. So, but I was in the car kid queue.
That's what happens here when it snows here. People forget how to do everything, and it's like all of a sudden you're in trouble.
I noticed that Nexi also came back. That one's getting pushed around again. Went up to 824.
This has given us a number of trades the past several days here, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And we did end up getting to 10 the last time we were looking at this. I don't know what it's going to do today. Like I said, I just got back. I haven't really had a time to take a look at things, but it's forming a nice flag-ish here. And
let's see if the volume expands, right? All about the volume. We start getting some buying volume in here. This could easily reclaim the VWAP and go higher. Looks like it's trying to do that already, to be honest with you.
How about Zim? Jesus, what a
we talked a little bit about Zim early. That move, absolutely huge. Moving up higher again here. Shout out to you, by the way. You had been calling this several days early.
Yeah, but I got to give it back up to live trading for putting this on my radar a couple weeks ago. And then that whole news with the Middle East and the Panama Canal. Yep. I think this really feeds into the higher shipping rate theory that I've had. And we saw from the update from Drury yesterday that shipping rates for 40-foot containers went up 61% this past week alone. So that's pretty parabolic.
So still good for that Zim thesis. One of the things we've been talking about, this is going to be tied to this. These up moves have been violent. So too can the down moves. So just keep that in mind if you're going to end up trading this.
Yes, sir. Did we also look at MTC? I thought that was something you mentioned earlier this morning too.
AIMD might be curling here. MTC, Mike Tango.
I thought I heard you say, if not, it was probably yesterday.
I think this was a yesterday.
Okay. This one's showing some
yesterday issue. Yeah.
A lot. But so what's on the radar for everybody? I mean, let's take a look at some tickers.
Yeah,
here.
AIMD, BNZI has been on the radar back and forth here. Nexi's been on the radar back and forth here. I know Nexi's kind of breaking down here. It looks like it was trying to challenge that VWAP. Wasn't really able to get through it here. We'll see if it ends up holding this low of the day here on Nexi. OMGA. See Jonathan mentioning OMGA here. Maybe this is just stayed under the VWAP. Would really need a VWAP reclaim here on this one.
I don't know if anybody noticed PayPal. I was mentioning that yesterday, looking for a bounce off the 50-day SMA because we were kind of forming an inverse head and shoulders on that, and that was the bull side of the play, and the bear side was the fundamentals. So far, it looks like it's bouncing off this, but I say so far because it can be whatever it wants to be. It can turn around from here and go straight down, but so far it looks like we're resolving an inverse head and shoulders at this time.
Yeah, and it looks good here on the daily, coming off that 50 and 100 day. So we'll see if we can actually continue to bounce here. Smoke Tuna talking about the IMUX 3-minute MACD. Let's take a look at that here together. So here we go. You can see that the I think are you looking at the histogram or the lines here? IMUX, this does look like it's kind of breaking down here. Let's see if this actually holds and curls. Maybe we get a move back to that VWAP.
Yeah. So what I'm seeing with this
Take care of wisdom.
Oh, daycare wisdom. What I'm seeing here with this one is that we're right for now trading underneath the 200 SMA on my 5-minute. Not really what I want to see. There's some other moving averages that are starting to move down through VWAP, and that just reinforces more downside. So it's encouraging that we're kind of holding this 150 level a bit here, but
yep.
I think I'm skeptical on this one too. But we'll see.
Yep. I'm with you. And I actually already traded this one here today. First stop is your best stop. Went in small, got flushed on the stop. Not really worried about it, but certainly not trying to compound the problem here. So one of the things that I said after that first trade is it would be great if this could actually get to that VWAP and confirm that there's some interest in this moving higher. We take a look at this 3-minute chart here. I see exactly 4 3-minute windows where we had buying volume. Everything else was selling volume. So I'm on the same side as you there, 13.
And did you guys talk about the jobs report we got from the?
Yeah, we did.
BLS?
That was and that's really, I mean, we were jokingly calling it the Mitch rally here, but that's obviously what's popping the market higher here. AB was wondering, is it a good news thing, good news, bad news thing? Where are we at here? Kind of had that discussion back and forth.
So let me post something in chat here that I use to kind of get an idea of what the Fed's doing and where they're going. Because
MINM. Sorry to interrupt here. I'll have you go back again here real quick. MINM. Remember, we had a huge move on this yesterday. It actually looks like we're curling. We were lower in the pre-market here today. It actually looks like we're curling here. Let's see if we can actually get to that. I got 395. Let's call it 4. If we move through there, you might have a trade on MINM. Sorry, 13. Didn't mean to steal your
I got $4 as a level for that. So the fact that it came up to within 5 cents of that is interesting. Let's see if we can, hold VWAP and try to get through that. Let me do what I was going to try to do here, which was I wanted to post something that we got from the FOMC meeting minutes. It's projections. And just give me
BNZI through 3 here. This thing's wild.
Hi, Lynn. Hi, JDs. Hi, Jay Summers. Everybody waving.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. And thanks again, 13, for joining here.
Oh, absolutely. This is fun.
It is fun, isn't it? It's like it makes you step outside of your comfort zone a little bit. It's a lot of fun. Get those juices flowing early.
So there's the monetary policy for the Federal Reserve. They put one out in September, and they just most recently had one from their last meeting of the year in December. And it shows you a table of what their projections are for GDP, unemployment, PCE, core PCE, and basically everything they use to make their or monetary policy decisions. So I feel this is very useful when we're anticipating these report numbers. Let's refer to these and see where their median is, where their upper range, lower range is, and get an idea of what they're going to do. And they've more or less been pretty transparent about what their plan is. They just kind of, are pretty behind in executing it.
Did you drop that in there? I didn't see it in the happy hour chat. I didn't see it in this chat either here. If you want to drop that link in the happy hour chat with InPro, I can go ahead and repost it here. And by the way, this is actually a really good segue. Just so you folks know, 13 here, he's been a long time Benzinga member, and actually just kind of volunteered to take on a moderation role in our happy hour chat. So you hear me talking about the happy hour show all of the time. With InPro is also a chat so we can stay connected throughout the course of the day. And 13's the moderator of that and has done a great job. Your peers have said the same thing. It's not just a me thing, 13. It's your peers saying the same thing. So it makes it a really natural addition here to live trading. Can't thank you enough. Thanks for posting that. I went ahead and reposted that here in the chat for you all.
Excellent.
And by the way, real quick, Nexi, let's take a look at Nexi here. Let me bring it up here. I'll go ahead and figure out the windows correctly.
It's trying to get through that VWAP.
It went right through that VWAP. Let's see where we go here on Nexi. Actually, let's see if we get a trading opportunity here. I'm going to go ahead and flip back. Boom. Here we go. Let's see where Nexi can go. Now, we're moving here through the VWAP. That's great. I wouldn't be shy if this really gets going here. 826, not out of the question. Not out of the question.
Yeah, just one of those really spready ones.
Yep. And that makes it difficult, right? That makes the trading action real difficult.
What else we got here? I still see Bitcoin is trying to stay above 44,000. It's been up and down up in that level this past week. I remember we had that big drop. I can't remember why. What are we looking at?
I'm still watching Nexi here. We did kind of come back into the VWAP. The spread is still a little crazy here, but I am tempted. Let's see if we can grab a couple hundred here. Maybe this might be slowing down, though.
Sorry, I'm still riding the high.
You're totally fine. You're totally fine.
Okay, Zim's coming in a bit. MTick. Gross. Kind of just waiting to see a bunch of these, just where their next move is.
I'm gonna that's shifting on me here. I really want to try. You know what? We're gonna try this. I'm gonna try bidding for a couple. We're gonna try bidding for 300 shares here, 750 on Nexi.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm gonna take a stab at it here.
Yeah, it's slowed down, but that doesn't mean it's done.
No fill yet.
It's just very spready. It's like one of those things where you might have to plug your nose and do a market order.
Well, no, not on that one. Not on that one, my friend.
BNZI running.
This was big push off that VWAP here. We printed we actually broke those highs here and immediately pulled. Folks, this is what I've literally been saying. Like, this is the type of thing that I really like to trade, our day trades where we take these highs out and we go. We're not getting that. We did pop above here a couple of cents. Nasty pull. Let's see if this comes back in towards the VWAP and set up there. Nexi continuing to move higher here. Let me flip back.
There we go.
Never got filled. Order still sitting there.
All right.
Oh, Nexi, this is Garrett here. This might be going for the highs. Let's see.
Oh man, it is so spready that it is not.
I know.
It's going back and forth.
This is why this has been difficult. In fact, if any of you out there are trading Nexi or trade any of these things that have spreads, would love to hear how you handle the spread here. Is it just a hope thing? You buy some and you hope? How do you work around the spread here? And more specifically for day trading, if you have a long-term thesis on something, I can understand buying and just kind of holding and waiting for the thesis to play out. But when it comes to day trading and trying to be as tactical as possible, how are you dealing with the spread? Here we are now. We came down to 5 cents. That's totally manageable. 50 cents, on the other hand, not palatable even a little bit.
Yeah, it's like just going back between 765 and 781. Not spready at all.
No, and honestly, I mean, looking at the chart here was in some of this, let's call it some oomph, if you will. This can easily go to 8. Like, we're not even that far from 8.
Okay, and I'm out.
I would not mark it in. Limit in and limit out can work. Yeah, see, Webcoin. That's what I'm saying. Look, I'm not going to mark it on this one either. We've had a lot of discussions about market. I'm probably just going to cancel this at this point so I don't get taken on a pull here. Let's go working orders, and then we'll go ahead and hit cancel. Okay, so let's go back to positions. Let's see if this sets up. Next, this is looking good. This is a great call, by the way. Whoever was on this earlier here today.
Quantum, when is SpaceX going to IPO? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know of some people that have been in the seed investment for that. I have no details on when that's going to actually happen, but I know that they're thinking about it.
Here's your 8 test on Nexi. As soon as we got here, we spread out. I'm going to put this back on. As soon as we got here, we spread out. So we're trying to tighten here. For the next trade here, I just can't chase this candle. Got to wait for this to kind of come back in, even if it does snap that higher range.
MINM looking like it's getting ready to make a move. It's been going sideways for the past 15 minutes. Something to watch there. IMUX still trading beneath the 200, and in my opinion, it looks like it may go lower, and it could be pretty bad if we get a close or start closing beneath 150.
Your first stop is your best stop. That's why I had a real tight stop of that. I said, you know what? This is not even. I've seen this stock. I've seen this stock do this before. I've seen it pop and then bleed all day. It really has just no strength. That's what we're seeing again here. Nexi, by the way, really kind of turning around here. Looks like some of that bullish action here kind of died off. This would be great if this came back down to VWAP and gave us another entry here. Nexi. Bill asking about ALIT. Let's take a look at ALIT. We did take a look at this one earlier. This one just keeps moving higher here. Really doing a good job staying above that VWAP. Nexi continuing to come in here, by the way.
Oh, look at ALIT go. And I think it's probably going to have another pop here soon if we get this EMA crossing over VWAP. But why do we not have any price action? It's not halted?
I don't see it.
There we go. Now I see it. Now I see it.
Okay. So Nexi at VWAP, do we try this here? Do we try this here?
I don't know. I want to see what the next candle does. We're going to get a close of this 5-minute candle in about 30 seconds. I want to see what the next one does first.
Cut. Nexi, we shall see. See if we go higher. If this really breaks down, I'm probably going to have to take a loss here. We're going to be 0 for 2 today. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'd really like to see Nexi make another run at 8 here. I'm encouraged by this candle action, but this can change in a heartbeat.
BNZI.
Sorry.
BNZI. Yeah, Jay Summers just bringing up BNZI, and so is Miles and Webcoin. That looks like that one's. Okay, here we go. There it goes.
Oops.
There it goes.
Which? BNZI. I'm sorry, I'm not fast enough on this. There's BNZI.
Great call. Now it's going to try to fight for that 345 high that we just made. There's a lot of size up in the in that area, so maybe raise stops if you're trading this.
Remember, it got rejected right around this area before. We really want to see it move through there. You might get a pop if we're able to do that. Oh, wow. Next, he brought in some big size there. Oh, it's not terribly big. 761. This moving lower here. This continues to move down through 750. I'm just going to take it off.
Yeah, that last candle on the 5-minute.
Yeah, that bounced. It does just kind of trapped me in there. That's all right, though. See if we hold this.
MINM still trying to stay sideways, but it's testing the lows of that sideways action. IMUX back above the 200-day or 200 SMA or EMA on the 5-minute. Sorry for all the different letters. BNZI, man,
wild. Stopping up here again though. That 345, I have the high print, but 340 stopping it too.
Yeah, and then we get a red candle, but we're not done with this candle yet. I like the price action. We're getting some decent volume. There's a good big order, so this one might go a little higher. We'll see. Watch those orders. SGD. Was anybody looking?
Yeah, we were talking about SGD all morning here. Yep.
Okay, so that one's interesting because that one.
Yeah, it's probably just going to hug in here. This maybe a break. All you have to do is start talking about them. When you're presenting and you start talking about them, that's when they break down.
Stage fright, you know.
Stage fright.
Well, next he found support from the 9 EMA on the 5-minute.
Yeah, we'll see if this really breaks down.
Sorry, I'm just like cycling through all these. Oh,
I'm trying to do the same thing.
Zim, look at that one go. That just as you had previously said, this is one of those that could just sell right off, and it's taking far fewer candles in order to make that happen.
Well, you know what? Let's get to a tradable spot on it. And we can go from there.
I mean, 14 doesn't look too bad, so we'll see what happens when it gets there. I also have, we got the consolidation from yesterday in the mid high 13s, so we'll see. But this one, that's an ugly candle. Yeah, everything's just kind of selling off right now.
Yeah, and I mean, and Nexi spread. Nexi spread almost 30 cents here.
BNZI, there we go. It's trying again.
Let's see if we actually take the top off here. 345, that spot. There is size.
New highs.
350, new, and here comes the pull. This is exactly what we saw the last time. Look at that. Okay, Nexi looking like this might break down here. TGTX still ripping, by the way, just under 20.
That's when I don't have my radar. TGTX.
That's been a great swing here.
Oh, look at that.
That's been a great swing. We already paid ourselves on the way up there.
Everybody just waited. Nobody was doing much in pre-market, but as soon as that bell rang, holy cow. Yeah, so this just looks like a bunch of pullback. IMUX actually doing much better now. So look for this for recovery. We're coming up to, well, my VWAP anyway.
I got 169 as the VWAP here. Does look like the intraday bottom has been in here, 150. We talked about that the last time we brought it up. Smash up the like for my guy 13 showing up here. And you know what? Let's not forget. Let's also smash up the like for AB for filling in. And then, of course, for Mitch, who's just done so much to help grow this this ecosystem.
Looks like AIMD is trying to recover, and it's not doing too bad. I want to see it get back above the 65 EMA on the 5-minute.
AIMD?
AIMD, that's right. The one that you had such a hilarious time pronouncing.
I'm not going to try that again. Nice attempt at debate there. No drama we talked about a little bit earlier. I know this is a penny stock here. Nexi, maybe we're curling back up here. Let's see if it retakes that drama. This thing's been weak all day. I don't need any of this drama. We'll just stay away from this.
We've been asked thoughts on Shop, which is Shopify, and on a intraday chart
yesterday, didn't we?
Like a 5-minute. It doesn't look bad at all. I mean, it's above my VWAP right now and about to test it. So maybe it gets some support there and tries for higher than 75, 95. Can't say. On a longer term time frame, this one looks like it should be going higher.
I agree. With the bounce off 70, the bounce off 71 here, very, very strong, really good support level that actually was a previous resistance level as well. Mm-hmm. I would imagine we retest 80. If we do that, would be the third test at that 80 spot. Very, very compressed triple top.
And we're trying to retake that 20-day SMA. I'm seeing that's resistance right now, but I think that 50 will help with the support. So the 50-day SMA, that's the one I want to see keep the price in Shopify up. When you start breaking down from that, I'd be a little worried. I can see that there's possibly maybe a head and shoulders forming in that if we start, about mid-November, come up with a bit of a shoulder and then a head, and now we'd be in the process of forming the right shoulder. Something to watch with Shopify, but for now, it looks like it should be going.
You know what, though? Let's go ahead and just mark that here real quick, just so when we come back to this. So, and I'm actually going to put a question mark here. That way, this will tell us when we come back to that. It'll be like breadcrumbs.
That's good. ALIT went back to test the 9 EMA, and it's finding support. Nexi, not looking so sexy, but we'll see.
I like what you did there. The dad jokes are strong with this one, folks. I will say, though, so we're still in Nexi here. We actually didn't stop out of this. One of the things I am encouraged to see here, 13, and I'd like to know if this is something that you look at, too. We are getting higher lows, even on this intraday chart. Now, the problem here is that we're not getting higher highs, right? So we're actually kind of compressing into this area. But maybe we pop and go here. Here we go. Now Nexi's trying to go. Let's see.
That was a Jeff D's joke, by the way.
Oh, okay. You lifted that one from
give him credit. Yeah.
Hey, Jeff's a funny guy.
Oh, he is. I wish he'd be around more.
Jeff, I'm actually going to be making a trip out to Arizona, trying to sync up with Jay as well. So let me know if that's something we can do.
I love how there are all these price targets and coverages, maybe some downgrades on Zim, And then the whole market was like, all right, bet, and just completely blows them out.
Yep.
C4. Wow,
Let's
that one's
take a
still
look
a
at
thing.
that here real quick.
Man, look at this thing go. Just down, up,
Yeah.
and then blast off.
And INM. Now all the stuff's going here. 13. All you had to do was show up today, and that's when we started to get more of these actual moves here. And so I'm gonna keep Nexi on this screen, and I'm gonna cycle through tickers, which I can do a little bit quicker over here in Pro.
Is trying to break through that consolidation it made over the past 20 minutes. And TX going up. ALIT trying to reverse. Nexi trying to make new highs, but not working so far. Maybe more sideways, I would say. Yeah. SGD got support from the 65, but we'll see how long that lasts. SPY actually got back over 470, huh?
Yeah, SPY actually looks strong. Looks like that might be trying to go higher here too, which is wild.
Well, we were talking about possibly there would be dip buying because that jobs report brought it down pretty handily, and we were Tom and Hatim and I, we were all talking like, this could be a good buy the dip opportunity because there's been a lot of news outlets saying should buy the dip. Maybe people are buying the dip.
And here we go in Nexi. Here we go on Nexi. By the way, I'm going to take this off at 8 if we get there.
Yeah, Nexi looks good.
Yeah, let's go get a limit sell.
It's got to break through 8 here.
See if we get it filled.
Yeah, I took an order at 789. Let's see how that works.
Yeah, I have my sell order here at 799. We'll see if we test that 8 spot again. There we are. We are filled and we are out. So now we're 1 for 2 today, but we recouped everything that we got on this trade. Looks like there's some size there at 8. It was rejected there. This is exact. Oh, you know what? I have the wrong screen up like a stupid noob. Hang on a sec. Here's your Nexi. This is exactly why I picked 799 as the sell spot. We have seen that this stock has stopped 3 times here. Well, would be the 3rd time we've seen this stock stop here. I'm in it for just kind of a short trade. We talked about how spready and how all over the place this thing was. So I'm looking at the chart here, or I'm looking at the ladder here. I see some size at 8. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to put my small order out there, 799. If they test that 8, I'm going to get filled. That's exactly what happened. We're out. Now we'll wait for another setup, or we'll be able to roll those into a different trade here. Real quick, it is 10:46 here. I was trying to catch that 10:45. 10:46 here. We will be going to a RAS report right after this show is over. So we do have some content here. Tune into the RAS report coming up next to catch Baron Davis discussing his transformation from NBA stardom to tech entrepreneur and the importance of financial literacy. I absolutely love this. I'm a huge proponent of some of these young, very wealthy athletes having financial literacy and having quality money management. Stick around. Raz does a great job interviewing those guests. That's going to be next here.
All right, so I am going to try at VWAP here with Nexi. So far, I'm getting, wow, what a bounce.
What a bounce there. And I mean, man, I am really happy with the spot that I picked, at least so far. Let's see if it breaks through 8 and makes me look like a moron.
All right.
More size at 816, although it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, I got a limit order to sell. I'm going to put a stop out, maybe.
That bounce from VWAP right back to 799. Holy smokes. You could have played that again if you were quick.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Neither am I. Neither am I, but we're still doing all right here today.
All right. I lowered and it filled. So I got about 795 there from VWAP. So I'm out.
Jay is asking, Ryan, you still in SSYS? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We'll actually take a look at that here. SYS, this has been good, actually. We got a really nice pop. We did kind of come back in here on this daily chart. We're actually beneath the island, which I don't love, but we're having a decent day here today. Maybe this is the bottom. Next stop here, 1450. Yes, I am still long SSYS. I'd actually like to be able to close this with a profit. I'm still in profit right now, but it's really not a whole lot. My average was about 13 and a half. And we're only at 14 here. So I'd like to get a little bit more juice out of this SSYS trade, but really happy to see it positive after being underwater for so long.
So I've only had 3 trades today, and I think they've all been from Nexi.
Well, that's the thing. You don't need to trade a lot if you're trading well. If your entries and exits and you're being tactical, you don't need to write 100 tickets a day.
I have 2. That was in Nexi, and the other one was BNZI, and that was flat. It didn't work out.
Okay. BNZI, by the way, here, let me go back to pro here. BNZI, oops, let me bring it up here. I had the SGD up there. BNZI came back into that VWAP. Oh, come on. You're going to give me trouble with the chart again here? Here you go on BNZI. So it can't.
Yeah, I do not want to hold any of these.
Right back to that.
Ready, low float, doesn't hardly make any money names. That's what I do all that for the bigger companies, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Those are the ones you want to hold.
Yeah, same. The ones with really solid fundamentals.
Oh, yeah. Especially the ones that pay a juicy dividend. I like that.
Yep. We got the mini Kevin O'Leary over here. Big dividend fan in 13 here.
Especially when they're qualified dividends.
Yeah.
Makes the money easier to get. Shopify still holding that VWAP on my chart, but we'll see. Can't say if it's going to go above it or stay above it or go below it. Seems like we're a lot of volume just kind of leaving the market.
Yeah, and the broader market here really kind of stopping at this 470 area.
Mm-hmm.
They're really taking a pause there. And all of the indices here, Dow, NASDAQ, and SPY, all kind of stopping around this area.
I mean, yeah. Oh, Jeff, trust me. I love AT&T. I love Verizon. They've been hammered the past couple of years, but I think they're poised to do much better, and they still pay a good dividend.
Verizon's been really strong recently.
Mm-hmm. And I've been calling for a reversal in those for a while because they lagged their indexes. Because Meta took off, left, and Disney took off. They're in the same communication space, and they didn't. AT&T and Verizon didn't do that quite yet. Google took off as well. So all those other ones, all those other big names, taken off in the same sector that Verizon and AT&T did, they lagged. So I think it's their time.
Nexi compressing here, by the way. It's still under that. Let's go back to that 1 minute. Let's see if we get some candles here. We're still under that 8 here. No. Now we just broke through it here. Let's see. So 8's gone now. Very spready. Got a little bit of size at 816, but not a whole lot above here.
Well, my $8 limit order would have filled if I had just been patient, but I didn't like the way that was heading down. So whatever. I'll take my wins. There's new highs in Nexi.
Yep. 825. Nice job. And so I'm not upset with the trade that I made earlier. Great that we're going higher here, but not upset being out early. Big volume stick here too.
Oh wow, CCC. No, we already looked at that. But it could be trying again. It's just another one of those. That's not really spready. It's pretty good liquidity.
No, this one's just a penny spread here on C4. See if we can go higher here. High of the day, 645 on C4. Nexi continuing, looking like it's trying to take out that 825. There we go.
MINM might be next.
Little pull there. MINM, let's check on that.
That one's spready, but that it looks like the right bid.
Size at 388 here. Nexi going higher.
Great job in Nexi, everybody.
Yeah, this was good. This was a good call. That's the thing. Like we didn't get Nexi early. Oh, I didn't get Nexi early here, but this has been giving us opportunities all day.
Jeff Dees has a really good point because we do make these watch lists in happy hour, and he just brought up a good idea for another one because we were just putting together a shipper's stock, list. What was it, yesterday or the day before?
It was yesterday. Yeah, we actually did that years ago, but we added to it yesterday.
Yeah, and now he's talking about lag trades, which, that's interesting, and I think that's because I just talked about Verizon and AT&T being one of those or two of those possible trades. We should put a list together. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, that might be a good project for next week here.
Mm-hmm. Shopify, it's moving up now.
So is Nexi. Nexi, big volume sticks here too. This is looking like this is trying to blast off here on Nexi. Let me pull that back up here on screen. Yeah, Miles, happy hour is BZ Pro members only. Sorry about that. But you should be joining that community anyway.
Well, I'll be honest with you. That's probably the most important 60 minutes of my day.
Yep.
That doesn't have to do with family.
There.
There's so much good information from just talking to all those gentlemen. And
yeah, I think what I like the most about it is the differing opinions and the differing, professions that people come from. That really helps diversify how I think about any stock that we talk about.
So Nexi pulled back, but I would be watching for the next 5-minute candle to go even higher than this one. I think that's a possibility.
Me too.
MINM smacked down again. ALIT trying to hold VWAP. May have gotten a bounce. TGTX just sideways. Shopify a little bit higher.
So good though.
And there goes, C4 is going higher and higher, little by little. There's just a bunch of size at 650 that may get in the way of this push up, and it's a slow push up.
SGD might be taking VWAP here on SGD. Maybe that goes higher if we bust through VWAP. Nexi 825 looking like it's trying to go higher here.
IMUX.
No, Jeff D's, no happy hour on Friday. We'll be back next week, live from the office.
Yep. That'll be fun. Who are you going to expect to see there besides the usual characters?
I mean, I expect to see, when I go to the office, I expect to see everybody. I expect to see everybody. You want to join next week for live trading? Why don't we just discuss that here? Okay. Yeah. Done deal, guys.
I can, I'm going to, rework my schedule so I don't have to take my oldest in the morning. I'll just take my youngest who has school earlier. So that way I can be here for the full
okay.
Live trading.
We are honored to have that. That's for sure. IMUX looks like this is kind of rolling over here again. Tuna, sometimes it don't work. No one to hold them and no one to fold them, right? Still a green day. Green day across the board. Green day in the main account. Green day in the trading prop account here. Started off not so great, but moving to the right spot here. So
yeah,
good deal.
Yeah, I think I might be.
Oh my God! Look at HE today.
I think
a trade.
Well, who was talking about that earlier in happy hour this week?
Everyone that was talking about the utilities being a laggard last year and likely to be that Tom, Andy. I mean, there were a number
Tim.
of people. Tim. The other thing here about HE is you actually might have a break into a gap trade here on HE.
Oh, speaking of gaps, let me check on RTX because that was.
Yeah, I actually talked about that this morning too. I currently have no position in RTX, but I think I want to get one. And you know what's great here? We really kind of traded back into this like sideways area. We can get to the bottom end of this range, maybe 84-ish. That might be a decent spot to add here.
It's going to be a break of the 200-day SMA, and that's the last big resistance that I see before the 500 at 92-ish.
All right, folks, it is 10:57 here. In just about 3 minutes, we are going to get you over to the Raz Report. Do not miss our fearless leader, Jason Raznick, talking to Baron Davis about financial literacy. I love these interviews. Baron Davis has done a really good job with this. I really appreciate this. Is something that I like to see. I'm always trying to be positive and root for athletes, and it sucks to see a bunch of young kids that are really, really wealthy end up making poor financial decisions that affect them a long way down the road. Be sure to check out Baron Davis with Raz. We're coming right up. I'm going to send you right over there. Got just a couple of minutes left. 13 with just the few minutes left. By the way, Here is Nexi again getting another attempt at the breakout here. Let me go ahead and
BNZI.
the chart and BNZI. BNZI curling here, isn't it? So
I bet, yeah, it's over.
Watch these. We have a pretty decent list of potential trades later this afternoon, should any of this continue or if this volume can keep building here. So BNZI, Nexi, how's POL doing? Did that end up just kind of flushing or whatever? Is that still?
I haven't looked since we mentioned it.
No, that's kind of breaking down. It maybe just kind of toss this on your on the back burner. Maybe it changes. We start to get some volume flow later on. We've seen that with some of these names. But 13, before we get out of here, any closing thoughts on this week or look ahead to next week?
Well, I think that the situation in the Middle East and Panama is going to continue to put inflationary pressures on the Fed. So if you're anticipating rate cuts in March, which right now I think the probability is in the 60s, unless that changed from last night. I think the market might be in for a rude awakening. So just keep your ear to the ground when it comes to what shipping rates are doing, because that's going to throw a monkey wrench into the whole bringing inflation down prospect. Just keep your eye on that.
Okay. Really good stuff there. I'm going to keep my eye on where we close here today. I know this Mitch rally taking us to the highs here. Let's see if we take out 471, yesterday's intraday high. I'm also going to keep my eye on several of these small cap stocks that might end up getting some juice a little bit later. As mentioned, BNZI, Nexi, going to be those two. Maybe we'll get some more here in POL. Also, Smoke Tuna, you had mentioned Sassy a whole bunch today. Keep those smaller stocks on your watch list. Maybe we'll get a move here later. 13, really appreciate you jumping on. Folks, I appreciate all of the support that you've given both me and Mitch. Really looking forward to a profitable and fun 2024. We got a lot of stuff on deck that we're going to try to do here. So stay tuned. Do me a favor, though. Have a great weekend. Stick around for the Raz Report, the interview with Baron Davis. 13, have a great rest of your Friday. May all of your trades be green, my friend.
You too, and take care, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.